we'd been talking with our neighbors about starting a farm on their property because they had bought this abandoned dairy farm and weren't sure what to do. Do we do goats? Do we do pigs? Do we do sheep? Do we do cows? What do we do? And we said, what about yaks? I said, what about yaks? So we overnighted several pounds of frozen yak meat into Vermont from Montana, cooked it up 4 ways, invited our 2 sets of neighbors over for a conversation and for dinner and drinks. And by the end of that night, August of 2007, we had ourselves a handshake agreement to start a yak farm. The following April, the yaks landed. The first herd, 24 yaks from Minnesota, landed in Vermont. We drove 24 hours out to Minnesota to Cold Spring, spent a day on the farm, hired a 53-foot animal trailer and a driver, put the yaks on the trailer, drove them back to Vermont, unloaded them on our property. One got out, ran up the highway. It was hilarious in retrospect. And we had ourselves a yak farm. I sometimes feel like my life is in perpetual startup. You know, we started this yak farm, started this newspaper, started this band. I'm raising a family, so I have 2 kids in startup.
Woke up in our big bed this morning. Lightning thunder on my mind.
But for me, I think the one constant and the one thing I've done for a long time, and that I really love and I'm reasonably good at, is teaching. So teaching actually is the anchor in a number of ways for the rest of the work that I do. I think what I try to do with the yak farm and with yak meat is to try and tell a compelling story about yaks and yak meat. The taste of it, the coolness of the animals, their kind of amazing adaptability and their really nice fit with Vermont and the Vermont landscape. It's fun to think about, farming is hard work, and there's nothing at one level very glamorous about it, but it's also important work. It's about food production. It's about working with your neighbors and community to provide more local food options. It's about working with these amazing animals, these yaks, who are, incredible. On even-numbered days, I feel like I'm teaching students to be successful in the world of our professional workplace for today. And on odd-numbered days, I'm coaching students and myself, too, to be thinking down the road towards what I like to call the great reskilling, when we have to sort of relearn a lot of the skills we've lost, how to grow our own food, how to harvest our own energy, how to live more locally and more efficiently on the land, which is one of the reasons I like yak farming so much. But I also think on the positive side, more and more people are waking up and recognizing that no one is going to save them, right? Because no one can, We're going to have to sort of do this for ourselves, and we're going to have to do it together, working locally in small communities. And that, to me, is incredibly exciting.